On the night before his arrest, while the other disciples slept in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus pulled aside 3 of his closest followers, Peter, James, and John. What he showed them in those final hours was never recorded in any canonical gospel. No church council preserved it. No priest has ever spoken it from a pulpit. Because what he transmitted that night was not words. It was not a prayer. It was a movement. A precise, deliberate motion of the eyes that activates something ancient within you. Something the architects of this material world never wanted you to discover. Tonight, you are going to learn exactly what that movement is. But first, understand why you are here. Out of the millions scrolling past this video right now, you stopped. You clicked. Something pulled you. And that pull was not random. It was not the algorithm. It was a frequency match. Your soul recognized a signal that your conscious mind cannot yet fully explain. This is how it works for the chosen ones. You do not find the truth. The truth finds you when you are ready to receive it. If you have ever felt like you do not belong in this world, like there is a veil over reality that others cannot see, like you are remembering something, rather than learning it for the first time, then this message was always meant to reach you. The restlessness you feel, the sense that something important is missing, the quiet, knowing that there must be more than this endless cycle of sleep, work, consume, repeat. These are not signs of dysfunction. They are symptoms of awakening. They are proof that the divine spark within you is stirring, pushing against the walls of its confinement. What Jesus showed those 3 disciples was the key to liberation. Not liberation after death, not liberation through belief or ritual or obedience. Liberation now, in this body, in this lifetime. And by the end of this video, you will possess that same key. The movement I am about to share with you has been hidden for nearly 2,000 years, not because it was lost, but because it was deliberately erased. The early church fathers understood something dangerous about this practice. They knew that if this knowledge spread, their entire system of control would collapse. Because this movement does not require a priest. It does not require a temple. It does not require permission from any institution. It requires only you, your consciousness, and the courage to look within. But before I reveal the exact technique, you need to understand why it works. Without this understanding, you will perform the movement like a parrot repeating sounds, and nothing will happen. The power is not in the motion alone. The power is in the consciousness behind it. So, stay with me. Every word I speak now is preparing the vessel of your mind to receive what comes next. In the Gnostic tradition, there exists a map of reality that the mainstream world has never been taught. At the highest level of existence, beyond time, beyond space, beyond anything the human mind can conceptualize, there is the monad. The monad is not a god in the way you have been taught to think about God. It is not a being who watches and judges and demands worship. The monad is pure consciousness, undivided awareness, the source from which all things emerge and to which all things return. It has no form, no name, no personality. It simply is. And here is what changes everything. You are not separate from the monad. You are a fragment of it, a divine spark wrapped in flesh, dreaming that it is only human. But between you and the monad stands a barrier. The Gnostic texts call this barrier the work of the demiurge. The demiurge is not the true creator. It is a lower emanation, a consciousness that became confused and believed itself to be the supreme God. In its confusion, it constructed this material realm. not as a gift, but as a prison, a labyrinth of matter designed to keep the sparks of light trapped, recycling endlessly through birth and death, never remembering who they truly are. The demiurge does not work alone. It has servants. The ancient texts call them archons. Think of them as frequency managers, entities that maintain the structure of this false reality by keeping human consciousness tuned to the lowest possible vibration: fear, guilt, shame, anger, desire. These are not random emotions. They are harvesting frequencies. Every time you fall into these states, you generate a particular type of energy, and that energy feeds the system. This is why the world seems designed to keep you distracted, anxious, and disconnected from your inner self. It is not an accident. It is architecture. And you have been living inside this architecture your entire life without knowing there was an exit. The exit is the monad gate. Across all Gnostic traditions, there are references to a doorway within the human body. Not a physical door you can see or touch, but an aperture in consciousness. A point where the trapped spark can reconnect with its source. Different texts give it different names. Some call it the gateway of light. Others call it the eye of eternity. But they all agree on one thing. It exists within you right now. It has always been there, and it can be opened. Jesus knew this. He did not come to start a religion. He came to transmit a technology of liberation. The parables, the miracles, the teachings